was early in the morning on the 4th of July. The National Weather Service put out an emergency warning just after 1 a.m. They put out another emergency warning just after 4 a.m. And the waters rose about 30 feet in less than an hour. 30 feet is a lot for an ordinary calm river to rise suddenly. The flash flood was absolutely devastating. Now, when this was happening, within hours of the flooding occurring, I was on the phone speaking with Governor Greg Abbott. I spoke with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. I spoke with Nim Kidd, who is the head of the Texas Department of Emergency Management. And I called President Trump. And I talked to President Trump on that first day. And I said, Mr. President, what is happening in Texas, this is bad. It is, all indications are this is really, really serious. There could be a lot of fatalities. Information was just starting to come in, so it was hazy. But I said this could be really, really bad. And President Trump, to his credit, he said, Ted, whatever Texas needs, the answer is yes. Whatever federal assets you need, the answer is yes. And that I passed on to the state officials, to the local officials. And I'll tell you, Ben, within hours, I was hearing from families. I was hearing from parents whose daughters were at Mystic and whose daughters were missing, and they were panicked, and they were saying, can you tell us anything? Do you have any information? And I was connecting them with the local sheriff, with emergency management. And look, you and I are both dads. It is difficult to imagine the panic, the fear, the bewilderment, everything those moms and dads were feeling as you get the news that your daughter is missing. And many of those parents just drove to Central Texas, immediately got in the car and drove. As I told you, we picked up our daughter last week from right there. Yeah. And Catherine said to me, well, why would the dads drive there? And I said, sweetheart, that's just what you do. If your child is lost, you just go. You'll move heaven and earth.
You'll do whatever you can. I mean, this is the same conversation I have with my boys. And the ages here, you see these little girls that are missing. And one of my wife's high school friend's daughter is one of those that lost her life. And having that conversation with your kids who are the same age. My twins are 6. They could have been at camp. And my oldest is 8. Could have been at camp. And you put yourself in that situation of just what would you do? And it's exactly